phone, on a piece of paper, however you want to take the notes. I just need you to take notes, okay? All right. Before I go into it, and I want us to kind of, share our ideas and what we understand by what this means. Doing more with less. You can unmute, you can put it in a chat. What is your understanding when you hear doing more with less? What does that mean to you? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be purely based on business, but I just want to get your understanding where your mind takes you when you hear doing more with less. You can unmute, you can put it in the chat. I'm going to read out whatever you put in the chat, but you can also unmute and just share your general understanding of what it means by doing more with less. What does it mean to you when you hear that? Anyone?
Can I give it a go?
Absolutely.
So to me, my background is in tech, so I'm familiar with the agile principles. So I believe it's like either finding the resources, whether it's time or money, that will help you to the first step to get either to validate the product or to get you some revenue, depending on the goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to read what Unique's phone. Please put your name as your actual name, just so that when I'm reading, I can refer to you as who you are. But yes, make most of the resources you have, even though they may be limited. Does everyone agree with that statement? Please put it in a chat if you agree. If you don't agree, please put it in a chat, because I really want us to start this session off with a very standardized understanding of doing more with less. Thanks, Unique. All right. So if you go to participants and you click your name, or there's some dots around next to your name, you'll be able to see the rename option. Anyone wants to share what their understanding of doing more with less? Anyone want to share?
I just wanted to say using your own like resources that you might have at home, or just even just a basic knowledge that you have from maybe a business you're working for already, and using that to kind of put in your kind of 20% of that into something that actually can be extraordinary. So yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. Now, I am going to pretty much speak about Business Launchpad. Okay. Business Launchpad. Now, Business Launchpad, like Arif said, is a charity that supports young people to start their own business. And you have to be aged between 16 to 16 to 30. Okay. You'll be able to get support. Now, the type of support we provide, if you see me looking this way, it's because I have got a bigger screen. Okay. So it's not that I'm not speaking to you. I see you on the other screen, on the other screen as well. All right. So the type of different services that Business Launchpad provides is one-to-one business support, which just simply means you're going to be assigned to an individual that's going to help you start and run your business on a one-to-one monthly meetings or sessions. Okay. You have the business support program. Now, the business support program are incubators or accelerator program that you would attend sessions in a group to build your business. So as well as you receiving the one-to-one sessions, we also have programs that you can join in a group format to build kind of meaningful relationships with people that are also in the same position as you, share ideas, collaborate. We also have a free space to build your business. So that just simply means if you have a meeting, if you want a place to work from, if you want to be within the environment of other people that are also going on their own entrepreneurial journey, at our space at Tooting Works, which is in South London, Tooting, you can come there from 9 to 5 and work from there completely for free, almost like a co-working space. Okay, completely for free. And then, of course, I mentioned this before, network of business-minded individuals is essentially you being within that environment, that ecosystem. Okay, now there's been a lot of conversations around starting a business can feel very lonely, right? Which is true. It's true. Okay, but it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to sit in your room or in your house by yourself trying to map things out and all that stuff. You don't have to do it by yourself. Okay. All right. Now, the business coaches. If you're ever assigned to a business coach, you will be assigned to one of these 3 individuals. Natalie, so she is more on a hair and beauty kind of business industry, incredibly good at personal branding, business branding, social media, launching your kind of physical product e-commerce space. She's very good. And then, of course, there's myself, but I'm going to skip myself to the last. We have Luke. Luke is very much knowledgeable in the printing world, as in if you're looking to create a clothing brand, if you're looking to market that brand, if you're looking to get some partnerships in there to run events, Luke is your person for that. And then, of course, there's myself. And when I start a session, I always want people to have context, because context is everything. Okay. Of course, my name is Obed Yaboa. I'm one of the business coaches at Business Launchpad. And also I run Shapeways. Shapeways is a almost digital tech hub where we train young and mature people in digital skills. And our goal is to either help them to become freelancers, to go into work within the tech world, or to start their own business. Now, I'm going to take you back to how I got into business. Okay? Don't worry. I've seen your chats. I'm going to answer them. Okay? I'm going to answer them, so just keep them coming. But I'm going to take you back because before, I've been in business 9 years now, coming up to 10 years, right? I started at university when I was about 19 years old. And I pretty much came to Business Launchpad around that age. I'm currently 31, so it's been a long time since I've, started my business. But my first business was an app for students and graduates to at the first phase of recruitment. And during that time, I had no knowledge of business. I had no understanding, experience of business. So I came across Business Launchpad and I simply asked for help. I received a 1 to 2 year support in starting and running my business. Exactly, I graduated 2015. 8 months after graduating, I sold that business to London Arts University. And that entire experience of building something and selling it made me want to also support others that are trying to get into the ecosystem of starting a business and creating enough value to the point where someone is willing to give you their hard-earned money in exchange for your service or acquiring your business. Okay, I started Shapeways, and Shapeways, we've worked with so many different partners over the years. likes of Microsoft, Apple, HP. We do a lot of work with Princess Trust. And we're currently now scaling our services in Ghana. So that's why I'm in Ghana right now, right? We're building a computer training. And when I say we're building, literally bricks building, as in we bought the land, started building like a whole academy. And my journey in terms of starting small and now going into the international space. Please mute yourself. I believe it's Eric. Please mute yourself. Starting a business and now operating. Arif, can you please mute whoever isn't muted? Starting a business in London with no experience, and now I'm currently in Ghana dealing with international kind of policies and trying to make sure that we're able to successfully launch. I've just literally opened 2 offices in Ghana that we're about to start our services whilst we're building. And it's been a journey. It's been a lot of learning, but the reason why I want to do this session with you is to also give you the insights of starting, running, maintaining, and making a decent to good living out of you running or starting your business, and not have to be in a position where you're always having to work in order to make money, right? To run your business, but you realize that the older you get, the more responsibilities you get. And then things that you really want to do almost start to fade away, because now there's a lot of demand from you as an adult, right? That takes away from your passion of things that you really want to do, okay? But I'm going to go into that, and we're going to have a conversation just to iron out certain things, and we're going to look at it from all different perspectives, okay? But that's me, Obed. We're going to do a quick icebreaker, and the icebreaker is just for me to get to know you and where you're at, just so that when I'm communicating, I can actually reference, okay? I can actually reference. Now, I'm going to just select or pick anyone for you to speak. Now, you can type it or you can speak it. It would be great if you can speak it, because then it just makes it a lot more exciting, okay? All right. My question to you, and please, if I don't pick you, start thinking about it, okay? My question to you, and it's a very simple question, okay? My question to you is, why are you here? That's one. And why now? Why are you here? And why now? Why now, as in, why do you want to start a business or get support for your business now? What is it? Okay, so I'm going to select Anna. Anna, if you can unmute, okay, and just simply tell us why you're here and why now.
Why I'm here, I'll say I've realized that I have a lot of I'd say creative ideas that I would like to put out and bring out into the world, but I have no knowledge on, how to do those things. So yeah, that's why I'm here. And the second question, sorry.
Why now?
Yeah, I realized that, time is fast spent. Um, time is everything is going really fast, nowadays. So it's better to start now than to be wondering, oh, why didn't I start later? Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to move to Ayana. Ayana, please, if I don't pronounce your name the way it's supposed to be pronounced, please forgive me. Please forgive me and correct me. Ayana, when you're ready.
Hi, yeah, it's Ayana. Thank you. Yeah, so why? I just wanted to elevate my business, and kind of also delve into other businesses as well. Just wanted to generate more income. And now I've finished uni and I have more of a drive to do it. I feel like at uni it's like, oh well, it's casual. But now I want it to be more better, real. And I just have that feeling now. I want that now.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Eric, if you can hear me, it would be nice for you to unmute and just share why you're here and why now. You're currently muted. You are currently muted. You're currently muted. I'm going to count down from 5. Eric, if I don't hear, I would have to come back to you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, swiftly moving. Eric, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to ask Georgia, please unmute and share with us why.
Hi. Well, I would like to start a business because I finished university, first of all, and secondly, I see that no job is pay enough, and also I would like to bring my passion, which is fashion, to the world. So I want to bring more unique designs, and also I would like to manage Airbnb also.
Mhm.
So this is what I want to focus mainly as a business. And why now? Well, it's not why now. I was doing before and I was trying to do my own way, but I want to see if now this webinar can offer me something better.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Precious, if you can unmute. If you can unmute and share with us.
Good afternoon. So I'm here because I've been like procrastinating like on the ideas that I have, and this is what I always think about, like when do I start, like how to start. Like I'm just literally stuck on that. And why now is because I feel like time is actually going and I actually need to start now. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Sebastian, when you're ready. Sebastian, when you're ready.
Yeah, hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
So for me, why I want to do this? Well, I've been kind of dabbling with business and entrepreneurship for a while, but I think I'm not still nailing down the marketing and sales side of things. So I want to learn from people who have done it properly and know exactly how to do that, to validate the product and to launch it and to then, as you say, sell it later on. And why now? Because I'm 27 and I want by roughly like 30 to 33 to have at least one successful business that I sold. So I basically, for personal reasons, like kind of move away from the 9 to 5 and create some financial freedom. But then I also want to be able to create a system where I can teach others as well. Like, for instance, people close to me, if they ever get in trouble with like jobs and laid off, to be able to kind of mentor them through it. Like that would be really nice for me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Very insightful. Sky, if you can unmute and please share with us why you're here and why now.
So actually, I worked with Business Launchpad when I was a teenager. You came to one of my school kind of, I guess, event days or something. And I've been like senior team kind of work with young people for a very long time. When I saw the workshop, obviously that this workshop was available, I jumped straight on it. One, because I've actually been working since I was 15. And I just became unemployed for my own sake. Like I said, now is the time to actually think about how to invest into my own personal ventures. I did have a business that actually ended just a couple months ago as well. And I think one thing that I have learned with working in 9 to 5, with being in different parts of the different industries, my career overall, is that people always get stuck with executing. And for myself, I think the time is now to actually execute a lot of my ideas, because I can honestly say there's been a few people in my life that I have supported with businesses before. And it always comes back down to, okay, what is your business? And I go, well, I don't have my own. So yeah, this is something that I feel like is a good use of time, especially now that I have the time, like the typical 9 to 5. You don't really make as much time for yourself as you can when you actually have all the time in the world. So this workshop, I feel like, is a good time to what's called utilize to build on knowledge and for personal development. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that insight. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And no, I've got 2 more. If I pronounce your name wrong, please forgive me. Tejaz Wesai.
That's all right. You can call me Paige.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh yeah.
All right. When you're ready, you can take the floor.
Yeah, I'm here because I have started my journey to build my business here in the UK. But the thing is, being an international student here, personally, I am not having the complete knowledge on the UK industry or UK market, or how it works, how it deals it. Though I have started and I felt like, yeah, I can do it by myself. It doesn't seem that if we don't have the proper guidance or support, that people already have the existing knowledge that I don't have. If I can access them, I felt that, yeah, that can make me to go ahead, like take a step forward better than what I'm thinking at the moment. And why now is because I have already been here in the UK for 3 years and I've been working in multiple roles. But the satisfaction that doesn't uh, give me is working for someone else, but they are not happy with the work I'm doing. So if somebody else is not happy, let me make myself happy with my own work. That's why I've started. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Really, really insightful again. I'm going to move to Unique. When you're ready, you can take the floor and share with us why you're here and why now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Unique. Why now? Time has started going extremely fast since I've become a mother. So I'm now 28 and 30 is on the horizon, and I'm in panic mode because I'm like, I want to be more present as a parent. I want to be able to be more secure financially. And I've worked in various roles, currently in project management, and it's just not a passion. I want to do something for myself and see something being built that I can leave on as a legacy for my daughter.
Wow, amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I am going to come back to Eric. Eric, if you're there, please unmute and share with us why you're here and why now. If I don't hear from you in 5 seconds again, I will have to move on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, okay. Now, can someone, okay, whether you unmute or you type it, can someone tell me why they think I asked why now? What do you think the reason behind why I asked that question? Because it seems like a very, Why now? Okay, but if you critically look at it, okay, why do you think I asked that question? Why now?
Hi, it's me again, Tej. I believe that since this program or workshop is particularly for the young people from 16 to 30, not every, let's say, an investor or someone is not ready to invest in them because they don't have enough experience or they don't have the worldwide skills they're expecting for. But you or like Business Launchpad might be expecting to give that support to this generation within, though they are not having enough support. So this is the time for us to realize ourselves like, yes, we have to take the step forward. Maybe that's why you might ask why now.
That's a very, 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 very good attempt to get it, but I like that. I might have to steal that to add on to why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Right? But no, but I'm going to use it for my next cohort.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else?
Could I give it a go?
Yeah, give it a go. There's a very, very simple reason why I asked that question.
Because if not now, then when? But just the motivation behind and the energy and the intention when you put into whatever you do. So it must be a reason why we are on this call and wanting to start our first business, and I guess all the things that could lead to this moment. Sounded a bit wishy-washy, but I
No, I think it's great. You gave a very good answer. Okay, but it's not the correct one. But it's
Thank
good. It's a keyword. When I ask you that question, and please take the time to think. When I ask you the question, what does it force you to do?
Take
what
action.
Does that? Nope. Unmute. Unmute.
Think.
Think. Keyword. I want the keyword. I want the keyword. It's a keyword. It forces you to do something. That question.
Is it reflect? Is it reflect?
Wait, who said
reflect?
All right. Okay. 5 points to you. Okay. Over the course of this session, I'm going to be allocating points. Reflect. Okay. Reflect. Now, I can tell you, for me, my experiences and achievements in business, always being able to have a bird's eye view of myself and surrounding has been so, so important. So, so important. Your ability to reflect. A prime example is, so this actually happened for real, okay? We had a session, one of the staff done something terribly wrong, and it resulted in the person being fired, okay? Being fired. And that evening, I was thinking to myself, did I respond to the issue the best way? And upon reflection, I realized that, yes, firing the person wasn't necessarily the answer. It did not give me the satisfaction. So I had to swallow my pride and call the person and apologized. Right? Now, this person is one of the most committed person within our team that I lean on the most, especially whilst I'm in Ghana. Reflection. Being able to see yourself from an eagle's perspective, not as an entrepreneur. What's going to happen is you're going to come with your idea, and sometimes you get so into the idea that you lose sight of what's happening, right? But whatever your idea is, it's the world, as in the people or your customers or whoever you want to sell to, they are the people that are going to fulfill your idea. You're not fulfilling your idea. Your customers, if you're able to get someone to buy something that you've thought of, created, they are fulfilling your assumptions. They are fulfilling your assumptions. So awareness, reflection is so important. And please make a note on that. Reflection, reflection, write it in big. Reflection, circle it, reflection, okay? You need to be able to reflect. All right, I'm going to move into our first real conversation. Now, I'm just going to give you a side note. This session is not to make you feel good. It's not supposed to massage anything. My job is simply to give you the information based on what I believe in, based on what I've been able to achieve. It's not going to be a thing where, yes, you can do it, X, Y, and Z. I don't necessarily gravitate towards motivation. I gravitate towards results, right? Your results should be your motivation. And if you haven't created any results, then you have to literally sniper or tunnel vision results. That means working beyond how you feel. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, the last thing we want to do is to go into work. It gets to the point where you actually start to contemplate, you know what, if I leave this job and sleep, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? Sometimes we have that kind of mental battle. But guess what? You still find yourself in your work seat. Why? Because bills has to be paid. So you're working on logic, not feelings. Because if we depended on feelings, I don't think you would even be here in the first place. Right? So let's throw that away and just filter it to creating, moving. Okay? All right. You versus your business. You versus your business. And this goes for everyone, even me, right? And I had to take a very, very hard look at myself to really realize this, okay? You versus your business. It's important, like I said again, self-awareness, for you to evaluate your skills and strengths, weakness. You have to know what you're good at. And you also have to know what you're not so good at. When you're starting up in business, this is not the time where you focus on, let me make my left hand be as good as my right hand. Okay? That's not the time you focus on building your weakness to be your strength. You tunnel vision your strengths. Okay? Now, let me give you an example. I sit in front of so many aspiring entrepreneurs or those that are in business, and a lot of the times I listen to them speak and I realize that, hold on, you're an excellent communicator. You can express yourself, and your choice of word in your expression is so good. Why are you not leaning into this to promote your business? And it always comes back to, I'm not really confident on camera. It's not really me. I don't really like to speak in public. I don't really want to do X, Y, and Z. I don't feel like I can do it. But in these times, you sit across me, you've never met me anywhere, and you're articulating yourself very well, right? A lot of the times, we treat our business as ourselves. As in, your business is your business. Your business is not you. So if your business is Jasmine, if your business name is Jasmine, Jasmine is his own human. and you are your own human. You are completely different entities. You both need different things in order to thrive. And sometimes what Jasmine needs may be something that you don't feel you need as an individual. Even though you have the skills to do it, right? Please pay attention to this. A lot of the times, the reason why we're not able to start or successfully run our business is because we put our own self-inflicting kind of doubts that we have about ourselves on the business. So the business suffers because we don't feel like it. We are not comfortable with it, even though we know that's what the business needs. If you're an excellent communicator, if you're not necessarily shy in front of the camera, if you find it easy to make friends, then you should be really working on your personal brand to sell your business, right? If you're going to create a Facebook page, Instagram page, TikTok, Twitter page, and put a logo, and people are not resonating with the content you post because there is no personality behind it, you cannot then blame the platform. You have to look at yourself and be like, you know what? Can I sell this better than Jasmine? Right? That's the question. Can I sell it better than Jasmine? Maybe you're not someone that likes to go out, but Jasmine needs friends that are also within the world of business. And Jasmine will call these people mentors. But maybe you don't really see, okay, I don't want a mentor because then I'm going to have to reflect on things that I don't want to talk about and things of that nature, which may be true, but you also have to understand the cause and effect on making decisions, right? A prime example is the fact that you're logged into this session. Because you're logged into this session, the effect is you are now neglecting something. Whether it's your daytime television, whether it's your shopping, whether it's looking after your kid, your parents, a phone call to a friend, something is being neglected whilst you're on here. And that's just the cycle of life. You win some, you lose some. Okay? So understand that when you're not maximizing your full potential to grow Jasmine, although it makes you feel comfortable because you're not stepping out into the unknown, you're not stepping out into something that you're not really, comfortable with, you feel good, you feel okay, but the business suffers. And that's just the cause and effect of making decisions. And it applies in every single thing. And I had to learn this very quickly. Very, very quickly, that my yes and my no, there are some repercussions, some underlying kind of advantages and disadvantages. Right? So my question, and this is for you to just reflect whilst I'm speaking, is could you be the barrier? Could you be the barrier to entry or to sustainably run your business based on your decisions? Based on your decisions, okay? Confidence. When I think about confidence, a lot of the times when we started Shapeways, we didn't have a website. And I walked into the referral unit in Tooting called Francis Barber. And I said, hey, my name is Obed. We've literally just come, we're just working out of the business Launchpad or Tooting Works office. we're a bunch of students and we train young people digital skills. Now, we don't have any teaching qualifications. We don't even have a website. But I want to do a deal with you guys. We're going to train your most hard to reach or your most destructive students for 1 month. And after the month, you're going to do it. We're going to do it for free. We're not going to charge you. After the month, if we do a good job, and the good job looks like if their attendance improves, right? We want to be part of your timetable. That means that we want to offer a lesson that they come to our space to learn, right? Well, for them, it's easy because you're not paying anything. They don't lose anything, right? And thank God it worked out and we became part of their timetable. During that time, we didn't have a lesson structure to last as long as 8 months. So we actually taught on the go, as in created lessons on the go, okay? Now, this all comes from having the confidence in what you want to do. When I meet someone and they're talking about what they're doing, they always play it down. They always play it down. And it's like, oh, I am just doing this. The keyword just. Oh, I'm just doing something I just do on the side, you know? But if you're looking for me to invest in something that you're doing and you tell me you're just doing it, or it's something you're doing on the side, right? To me, what I'm getting is, okay, well, you don't really value this thing. It's probably out of convenience. It's probably something that you don't fully stand by. But the problem is we only stand by the things that we're doing when it's doing well. Right? And unfortunately, sometimes a lot of us don't get to that point of getting that thing to do well. Right? A lot of us don't get to that standpoint. And it's because whatever it is, maybe from our upbringing, maybe what we think people will think of us, or maybe is whatever it is, right? We always try to downplay when we start things. And the more you downplay things, you're registering it in your mind. So your natural output, your natural work rate, the belief you have behind that thing, when you're speaking to someone, the way you communicate it, it reflects. And the results you get, it becomes a surprise, like, oh my God, like, I really felt like I was doing this. I don't know, like, but your general energy towards something that nobody cares about that you're doing, you have to care about it, right? I remember when I went to pitch, right, for some funding, and 2 of the investors didn't like it, but I still pitched it like, look, this is the best thing since literally any student graduating. This is the best thing, right? And it only took 1 investor. And you always have to remember this. You only need 1 person. Like remember this. You're literally 1 step away from someone buying from you, from someone investing in you, from someone coming on board to be a partner. You only need 1 person, right? When you start to look at life from that perspective, you realize that a lot of things are not difficult, right? When you realize that, wait, it only actually, I need 1 person, like really and truly, right? But your confidence needs to speak through when you start, all the way to when everybody's now standing behind you saying, well done. Okay? And don't treat whatever you're doing as the keyword just. Right? This is what I do. The reason why I'm doing it part-time is because I need to fund it. Hence why I'm working. Right? So whenever you're communicating, you're not putting it down. You're always putting it above. Right? As some of you said, working isn't really something that you enjoy doing, right? But we know, I mean, if we're going to start a business, we need money, right? So why should you not engineer your brain to then, okay, you know what? I'm working, but it's purposeful because it is going towards something that will take me out of that work. I am working towards a better reality, right? At the start of the year, please don't start saving your money just to go away for 2 weeks and come back to your reality that you're not happy with. Okay? What I'm trying to communicate is we have to get our mindset right. And that naturally controls our reality. If I spend, look, right now I'm in Ghana, and I'm going to keep telling you this. Sometimes I even wake up with anxieties because of just how people operate is so far-fetched from what I'm used to in the context of business, right? And you now have to be hyper-focused because now you're thinking about, okay, someone is going to sell you something fake. Okay, I need to, like your decisions have to be very well thought through, right? In the UK, we know that, okay, well, if I get scammed, I know where to go. If something happens, I know what to do, right? Here is different, but I'm still in it because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe this is just temporary. I cannot put my feelings at the forefront because it's going to disturb how I operate. Okay? It's very, very important. I'm going to move on to procrastination. We all procrastinate, right? We all procrastinate in so many different formats. I procrastinate myself, okay? Now, the problem is time management. It's okay to schedule. It's okay to say, okay, I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. The problem is when tomorrow comes, do we do it? That's the problem, right? Do we do it? Right? And managing your time effectively is not about, okay, let me make sure I remember to do it. Put things in place, right? Have something as simple as a timetable. If you know time management is that much of an issue, have something like as a timetable, right? That you can always refer to that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? But the problem is when we create our timetable, the timetable doesn't allow us to do or work on different things. Sometimes we look at it as, okay, I have to create my logo. You spend all your day creating the logo, right? Please don't work that way, okay? You're an entrepreneur. One of the things that I had to develop is my ability to switch from different tasks, right? And not have to do a whole yoga session in order to move into the next task, right? You start to train your brain to be able to move through different things at a high rate of speed, right? When you align your day by doing this for 1 hour, I'm going to do this for 2 hours, I'm going to do this for 3 hours. So your brain gets used to switching and still being effective, right? Switching and still being effective. Okay? Personal values, personal values, personal values. Okay? Now, I had a friend, and this is a true story. I had a friend who's an accountant, okay, and he works with startups. And he had a client, and the client, he was having issues whether he should work with the client or not. And he called me and he said, Obed, I've got this client. This client lives a life that I don't necessarily believe in. I don't know if I should take that person's money or not. And I asked him, well, your job and business, right? A lot of the times, again, we put ourselves in a position where what we believe to be right, we want to enforce it in business. And then we turn certain people away based on what we think is right or wrong. And some businesses do it based on the type of business, right? But I would always advise you that don't make your business do politics, okay? If it's not in the politics industry, right? Example, if you sell air freshener, okay, and the election is coming up, you don't need to go and put the party's flag that you're going to vote for on your business social media page, promoting why everybody should vote for it. Because although, yes, that's your personal belief and that's what you're going to do, guess what? Some of your customers or potential customers may not align with what you believe to be the right party to vote for, right? And it just becomes a whole world of politics. And now we live in a world where now things are a lot more feelings-based. People buy things based on their feelings towards the brand, right? And that's why personal branding or business branding is so important, okay? We have to make sure that we are serving the people based on what we're providing them, right? If you want to start a church, then please start a church. If you want to, but don't try to mix it, because then it makes it hard for you to grow, right? And maybe if your personal belief is so strong that, you know, it's going to cross over into your business, then you don't have to sit down and ask yourself, is this particular industry that I'm going into, is it going to be sustainable for me? Okay, but these are just simple things that we just have to regulate, right? You versus your business. You versus your business, right? And I really want to hear your thoughts around this, okay? What are some of the things that you feel, okay, you know what? I can do this. I'm not comfortable doing it, but you know that business that you're running or you want to start could really use this skill set that you have that maybe you're not tapping into. Does anyone want to share something just so that it doesn't feel like, oh my God, it's only me that actually, and I don't want to say anything? Has anyone got any kind of personal experience that from reflection, they see that, okay, maybe I need to? Anyone, the floor is open.
Yeah, for me, one thing that I guess I being in customer service for most of my career, I would say like becoming the customer has always been something I implement from, you know, working in property, for example. You want to make somebody feel comfortable in your properties, knowing that you would sleep in that bed or go to the bathroom in that toilet, or, you know, use the kitchen and cook for your mum and dad in that kitchen, right? So when you become the customer, your own business, your own what's it called, effort into that thing, it's almost like you are selling to yourself, not just obviously the people that you're marketing for, but pretend that you are that person that you're marketing for. And that can kind of lead to being the motivation on why you do your thing a certain way. And I always say, like, another thing is when people say work smarter, working harder and work smarter, the simple thing of somebody's 110% in something could actually be your 20%, but you're doing 110% and burning out. That is like something that I feel, you know, like you can say, but even for yourself, you can say it, but actually you have to listen to yourself also when those things. So yeah, that's what I would say first.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for sharing that insight. Anyone else? Anyone else? Before we move, anyone else? Anyone else? You can use the chat. You can use the
From what
chat.
I've seen, from how I approach sales, for instance. So for instance, I tried to sell at some point press releases, and now I realize that when I would get a no, I immediately justify, like I discard the customer instead of trying to work with them. But I completely say, okay, you're not my customer, then bye. And then instead of trying to show them, hey, we can actually work together, this can help you in this way, I immediately shut down and think, no, shouldn't be my customer because I don't like how they approach me, which is very stupid, but yeah, something I do sometimes.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. A lot of insight. Okay. A lot of insight. Now, your key skills, and please write this down, okay, and answer it as honest as possible. And I just want to focus on mostly problem solving, but I want you to write the text in yellow, okay, but then apply it to yourself, okay? Problem solving, right? In the group, in this chat right now, or in this session, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, and please be honest, put it in the chat for me as well, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, how good, and 10 being really good, how good would you rate your problem solving skills, right? And whilst you're putting it in there, I'm going to keep talking, okay? Please put it in the chat, right? How good is your problem solving skills, right? Now, I really want us to start, and after this session, I want you to start or run whatever you're doing in business. I really want you to create the results, right? And this is why I'm approaching the session from this perspective, right? Your problem solving skills, please put it in the chat, okay? Problem solving, a lot of the times, is something that we feel, oh, you know what? I'm going to start this business. This is how it's going to happen. And oftentimes, for those of you that have started a business before, you realize that the plan that you put together, probably about 2 to 3% of that plan works, right? And the rest, you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to bring in someone. You're going to have to speak to someone. You may need a little bit more money than you thought. Something is not going right. You thought that maybe your students or your customers would engage with something that you really felt like they need, and they're not even giving it reception, let alone buy it, right? Your ability to solve problems is incredibly important. That means, right, when a problem happens, so for those of you that I've been procrastinating, I just don't know, I don't have the time to start, there's always something, that's the reason why you're not able to do something, it's a problem in itself, right? It's a problem in itself. Starting is also starting, but you're not starting, or it's taking you time, or when it gets to a point where you realize that, whoa, wait, hold on. January was just around the corner, and we're moving into December, right? Coming to that realization, it's a privilege, because not everybody that started in January is going to see December, right? Not everybody that started in January is going to see December. Like, really, like, try to understand that. Not everyone you started the race with is still on the track running. So it's a privilege for you to be able to come to that realization of time is moving fast. It's a privilege. but it's also a problem. Because from January to November, it's all time. It's all time. It's all time. Whether the time has been used effectively, not effectively, it doesn't matter. What we know is it's time. It's all time. Right? So when you get closer to the end of the year, which is the end of this year's time, and the realization is, I need to start this. Although it's a good realization, right? I'm speaking purely based on problem solving. Please take away the feelings. Let's not, because I don't want you to stay within that. I want us to look at it from a very logical perspective, okay? Although you've been able to identify that, look, I need to start this. This is the best time, right? Time goes too fast. I don't want to get to this point and not having, right? It's good to be able to identify. It's a good skill. But we then have to operate above it just being a good skill and ask ourselves, what are the disadvantages of us coming to that realization closer to the end of this year's time? It means we spent a whole lot of time not starting. Now, we may have a very valid reason to why we haven't started. It could be family, it could be work, it could be anything. And whatever the reason is, it's valid. It is valid. Okay? It's not for me to say it's valid or it's not valid, or it's valid according to you. Right? Which is fine. But again, we need to operate above the bare minimum of productivity. We need to operate above the bare minimum of productivity. And it just simply means if we are waiting to feel like we want to do something, and that's when we actually take a step, we are then operating at the lowest level of productivity. Right? And it's a problem because when you get into business and you are waiting to come to the realization of things, in most cases, you realize that a lot of mistakes are going to be made, and there's going to be a lot of corrections that you may not have the skill set to do, nor have the money to bring in the experts to do. A prime example of this is when you start a business and you don't start to think about tax. And when the money comes, you chop. The money comes, it goes, right? But we forget that we have to account for some of that money to go to the government. Over the years, the more time you do not do your taxes properly, your problem just gets bigger. And by the time that you feel like, hold on, this is a problem now, I'm in trouble, the money you're going to have to pay the accountant to fix that problem is probably going to be more than the money that you're going to be paying in tax. Okay? And when we start our business, those type of thoughts doesn't really come until we hit the wall and we realize that, oh no, okay, I didn't keep my receipts. Oh my God, I should have done this, right? And fair play, maybe you didn't know. You didn't know. So whatever the reason is, what I want us to understand is the fact is we're still going to bear the consequences of things based on whether our excuse is valid or it's not. Right? It's almost like someone cutting off my finger and the person saying sorry. Right? Yes, okay, you didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. You said sorry, but it doesn't uncut my finger. The problem is still the problem. Right? And it's a problem if we're not able to problem solve. why we're always turning up to the party late. Right? And again, it goes back to you sitting down and having a bird's eye view of where you are, the skills you have, the time you have, and the key phrase is doing more with less. As in, however much you have, you have to take a step. Whether it's a half step, a full step, second step, it's important that you take a step. And when you're taking that step, some of the things that you have to make sure you have in place is how well you're communicating that step that you've taken. Whether it's a half step, whether it's a full step, whether it's 2 steps, 5 steps, if you're not able to communicate it effectively to people that need to buy from you, to people that need to give you their money, to people that need to invest in it with a lot of money, to people to come on to partner with you, if you're not communicating the step you've taken properly, you're going to have issues seeing the results. We all know amazing businesses, amazing products that are not well marketed. And because of that, nobody knows about it and nobody cares about it. The only people that care about it is their friends and family, right? All because of communication. Because TikTok is free, Instagram is free, knocking on people's door is free. All these things are free, right? When people stop for you, the things that come out your mouth is what is going to determine if they buy from you or not. If you're not communicating properly, you're going to start to think that your business idea is not good. Meanwhile, it's good, but the communication aspect of it. And you may feel like, okay, well, you know what? A weakness of mine is communication, right? And this is the problem solving that I'm going back to. A weakness of mine is communication. All right, you started this business, you realize that communication is something that's difficult for you. I wouldn't advise you to go to a communication school, right, to learn how to communicate effectively, so then you can come back and then communicate properly to people that are going to buy from you. Because if I tell you to go to communication school, it is going to take away from you doing something in a business that may be a strength. So now we then have to look outside to find someone that can communicate it, right? To find someone that can communicate it. All right, we realize that, oh, okay, Obed, I work part-time. Right now, I don't have any money to even pay someone to communicate it. Okay, another problem, and which is fine, because we're in the school of problem solving, because that's what business is. Our whole lives is literally problem solving, right? Problem solving. Okay, I don't have the money, right? You don't have the money? Okay, what are your strengths? These are my strengths. I can read really well. I can weave sew clothes. I can do branding. I know how to design, right? Okay, right. Our task now is we need to find someone that is good at communication, right? That you can skill swap with. That means let's hope the person that we need may need something that you're good at. Because this is now our currency. This is now our currency. Okay, again, problem solving, communicating, having that self-awareness that this is what I'm not good at. This is what I'm good at. You don't always need money to create results, but you need to be a good problem solver to create results. because we don't live in a perfect world where things just work how it's supposed to do, right? In a perfect world, we should be able to go outside and say, I need this. And somebody comes and says, okay, I'm going to give it to you, right? We have to think through things and figure out how we can offer something, okay? And then when you start to get into the element of skill swapping, identifying your skills, your weakness, seeing people and seeing what they're good at, how they can support you, how you can support them, you begin to do what? Start to create meaningful relationships with people. Meaningful relationships with people, right? Because the sad thing about money is when you pay someone to do something, you now take away the feelings and now you look at accountability. Why? Because you're giving them money. There's no favors in this. You're giving them money. And now certain things that will be good to know about them that could help you connect with them better. And now you have an ally with you on the journey of business. That person just came and just delivered the job and went, right? Which is fine. But in business, I can promise you, you would want to be standing next to businesses that are on the same level as you or higher. Okay, or higher. And it goes back to, if you have a friendship group that you find yourself to be the one that everybody's coming to you for advice, my only advice to you is that you then need to find somebody that you can go to get advice. Okay, but problem solving. I really want to focus on this bit. Problem solving. You need to be able to solve problems. That means if your feelings, if you feel like this is not something that you can do, oh my God, I'm so out of my depth. It's a problem and it needs to be solved, right? If you're going to get into the feelings of it, please do it quickly so we can get into the logic of it. Okay, that just simply means if you're going to cry about it, please cry quickly, right? If you're going to go through the emotional stage, the different emotional stages of it, do it as quick as possible because you still have a problem to solve, right? If you don't solve it, it becomes an issue, right? It becomes an issue. And then it stops you from progressing. When you think about when we were really young and our first day at school and your parents drop you off and you're crying, and then you go to school 1, 2, 3, 4 times and you realize that, hold on, I actually enjoy this, right? But when they dropped you to school the first time and you was crying, right? It's just the growing pains of being in a different environment and seeing different faces that are not your parents or your family members and things of that nature. But you grow to enjoy that side of your life because you have now made friends, right? So when something happens in business and it hits you emotionally, I'm not telling you to, well, don't express it, but do it quickly, right? That's why it's important to have good friendship group, right? People that can speak life into you. Because during lockdown, I was ready to call it a day with Shapeways. I was ready to stop operating as a business because everything shut down. We didn't have any source of income and we still had to pay rent. That's a huge problem, right? And it was a very good friend of mine that told me, no, you're not going to do it. Go and speak to the landlord, reason with the landlord, try to figure something out, right? I was already engulfed with my feelings because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be in debt, right? And it just doesn't make sense. And I'm not the only business that's going to go out of business during COVID. I'm not the only one, right? So when you get into that mindset of, okay, everybody's losing, so let me also lose, it's okay, right? We don't have to think like that, not on a motivational thing, but when we get into the concept of problem solving, we realize that we can use other ways to actually get things done. Okay, problem solving. Every single reason that you may have that you feel, okay, I haven't done this. This is why I'm here. It's all wrapped around problems. And we just have to untangle it. Okay, all right. The reason why I have to do this is because I have to babysit. Okay, I have my child and I have to look after my child, so it takes a lot of time away from me. Okay, that's fine. Let's figure out, because if you still have time to eat, okay, I have time to eat, that's no problem. It takes me about 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to eat. Okay, we have some time to yourself. Okay, that's great. Okay, we have time to sleep. Okay, that's good. How many hours do we sleep? Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. Amazing. How can we make sure that if you're sleeping 7, 8 hours, and the issue is you may not have time in the day to do the things that you want to do, right? Then maybe at that particular time, you may need to sacrifice some hours of sleep to get things done. It's not permanent, but it is what we may have to do to get going. And as we're going to improve our time management. We're going to improve on things, right? Because nothing is permanent, but we need to be able to problem solve things to step. We step. Once you solve the problem, that's a step. You solve another problem, it's a step. Okay? It's a step. I want to go into human currency, but before I go into human currency, I want us to take a break. And whilst you're on your break, I want you to start thinking about, you know what? Do I have people that I can actually call on if I need money, advice, support with maybe a child that I may have, a family member that I am responsible for? Like, do I have people to support me? This business that I want to start, can I call someone to support me? Maybe I have to do an event. I don't have the money to pay someone to come in to help me at this event. Do I have a team of people that I can call off to help me? I want you to start thinking about that. Okay, I want you to think about that whilst we go on a break. And the break is only for 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes. Stick your head out the window. Maybe it's too hot inside. Get some air, get a cup of tea, go to the toilet, and let's get back. Right now is 1:30, okay? Please, let's make it back at 1:40, right? 1:40. And this particular bit, I want to hear from all of you. This particular section, human currency, right? And please, I hope you've been taking notes, okay? But I'm going to leave you to take your 10 minutes break and we'll be back. Please do not log out. Just close your camera and mute yourself and be back at 1:40. Okay, at 1:40. And please don't be late. Don't be late. Whatever you do, don't be late. Okay, whatever you do, don't be late. It is not good. It's not a good character, especially in business. Don't be late. Okay, all right. Have a good break. And I'll see you at 1:40. See you at 1:40. Move. We have to move. Now, before I go into this, I really want to see the numbers that you put in terms of your problem-solving skills, okay? Because this needs to be at least on 7. And on that 7, I'm going to break down what that means. A lot of the things that I've said, right, I really want to key on the problem solving, because a lot of the reasons why startups don't work or people stop or just simply fail is their ability to problem solve. Okay, it's the ability to problem solve, not only for the business, but in their life as well. Right, in their life as well. If something happens, right, if you can easily just drop everything, right, something happens, and if you can drop everything literally shut down, right? It may feel like, yeah, you should, but you realize that when whatever that happened that made you drop everything, when you give it time, you start to realize that maybe I should have at least tried to work through it a lot better so I can still keep things going, right? I've sat in front of so many people that have told me when my relationship ended, everything died in me. And the so well, but that person literally killed everything that I had going for myself, right? And as sad as it sounds, right? As emotional and as sad as it sounds, and it feels like the right thing to say is, yeah, I understand, right? We should try to advise people or to support people to manage things, especially when there's crisis, especially because that's when you're most tested, right? You can say you're strong in so many different ways, however many times you want to say it. But we both know the trueness of that comes when there's adversity, right? How we're able to manage how great we are or how good we are at something is when we actually have to exercise that skill. Okay, so it's important, problem solving. Okay, I had some of you put 7, 6, 6, 8, 6, right? Now, this has to reflect, right? And when I say rate yourself, and when I said be honest, I'm saying rate yourself based on the honesty is me saying rate it based on your results. Right? Results, not how we feel about, okay, the things that I want to do, where am I at with the results? Right? And it doesn't have to be only business or whatever, but the things that you care about the most. Like, you have to care about starting up a business for you to spend your time with me, because I'm not special, right? For you to turn place in this group right now, clearly there's something within you that is pushing you to do it, pushing you to give it, pushing you. There's something, right? And whilst we acknowledge that, again, we want to work at a higher level than a low level of productivity, right? A low level productivity, an example of it is what I gave, which is, okay, I don't feel like doing this, so I'm going to watch motivational videos to make me feel like doing this, and now I'm going to do it, right? That's a low level productivity, because if you don't have that motivational video, then does that mean that it's not getting done? Right? But if we use ourselves as the engine, you are the engine, you are the Red Bull, you are the motivation, right? We have to strive to see ourselves as the motivation, your results. If you start a business and you get one client, whether your business is for them to purchase the product is cost 1p, it costs £30, £100, £500. When you get one client, and for those of you that have started up your business before, how do you feel when you get that first person that buys from you? Right? That feeling, that results, that feeling that you get within you that makes you want to, okay, now let me try and get 2. Let me try and get 3. Let me try and get 4. The hardest bit is getting that 1. Because when you get that 1, at least you can ask yourself, okay, what did I do to get that 1? Maybe I might have to do more of it. You have a sense of direction when you get 1. But getting 1 is a problem, right? It's the problem. And it's a problem that we have to identify that, look, it's going to be hard to get 1. We have to come into terms with it. That it's going to be hard to get 1. Okay? However you want to skin it, whether you watch motivational videos or not, it's going to be hard to get 1. But when you get 1, we don't celebrate it enough and we don't acknowledge it enough. So that's why we're not able to use it as an energy booster to get 2. The way we internalize the success and the way we output it, it doesn't go towards us wanting more. It goes towards a lot of social media likes or well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. But we don't actually critically look at it and be like, okay, I need to get 2. I need to get 3. I need to get 4. All right. If I put 10p into social media marketing and I created this poster and now one person has come out of 100 engagement, okay, what do I need to do next? The thing that I done to get 1, how do I do that same thing, but put more thought, direction based on my success with the 1, right? This is just me critically analyzing my success. If I sold 1, okay, I'm going to make sure that I record the paths that I took to get that 1 sale. And
This train is for Lewisham. The next stop is...
Okay. I'm going to double down on it. It's so problem solving. Like, if you're not going to take anything from this session, please, problem solving, right? Don't let problems stop you from what you're doing, right? Solve it, right? And it goes into my next slide.
Oh, Obed, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, Obed. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Yep, we can hear you now.
All right, fantastic. All right, so when we talk about solving problems better, human currency plays a vital role in solving problems better in the realm of business, in the realm of life, because business and life literally goes hand in hand. Hand in hand. They're literally cousins, literally, right? If you want to build your confidence, if you have low self-esteem, if you have poor communication, if you have any of these things, if you want to fast track the process, in building these things, start a business and give your all. Start a business and give your all. Give everything that you have. Use all the skills that you have and push that business. And I promise you, within a year, you're going to realize that the issues that you had, that you felt like you lacked, you would have worked on it. Because business exposes you. It exposes everybody when you start. right? If you're a good talker, it only gets you as far. Because once you talk and you get what you're looking for, guess what? You have to perform. Right? When you get that funding, guess what? You have to perform. Right? Whatever you're looking for, business literally exposes and gives it to you. And when you, through failing and going back and looking at it and re-strategizing, you start to work on how to deal with problems. Okay? Problems. Now, your network, and I'm going to open the floor. Who in here, when they get assigned to a business coach, who wants to develop their human currency with their business coach? Please put in a chat or on mute. Who would like that subject to be spoken and taught to when you're with your business coach? Okay, I've got Sebastian said me. Ayana said me. Anyone else? Anyone else that needs that? Because I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the biggest driving force in you creating results. I'm telling you, right? Life is a lot harder. It's a lot harder when you're doing it by yourself. And the only person you can depend on is yourself. And guess what? It's not sustainable. It is not sustainable. No matter how strong you may feel like you are, certain demons require more than one person. I'm telling you the truth, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? With all the pride I have, business humbled me in so many ways. In so many ways. The people you have around you, even if you don't register to any of our programs, one-to-one session, even if you don't do that, I would advise you to build a solid network of people that you can call on, right? Because starting business is not all about having the sunny days. Sometimes it's going to feel like the UK weather. It doesn't know when it's going to rain or not rain. Sometimes it feels like a roller coaster, but for some reason, you just keep going down and never coming up. Sometimes. And sometimes it feels like you're going so up that you even forget about even the possibility of going down. Right? And the times that you're going up, you need the right people around you. The times that you're going down, you need the right people around you. The time that you're not moving at all, you need the right people around you. These are the three different things. The times that you're not moving, it could be based on your limiting beliefs of yourself, on the business, something that's happened. You need people to speak life into you. And when I say you need people, I'm not talking about the friends you grew up with. I'm not talking about that. Right? Because they fulfill a different part in your life. They fulfill something else. I'm talking specifically about your human currency in the world of business. And I'm speaking about people that know more than you, people that have more than you, people that have better connections than you, and people that you respect. Right? People that you respect. People that tell you that, you know what, trust me, I've got you. And you're just like, my hand is not even on the steering wheel. Right now, there is no steering wheel. So I'm going to literally trust you. You need people like that. especially when you're growing, when you're getting clients, and these clients are no more your friends, your family members, right? These clients are people off the street that don't care about you. The only thing that they care is good.
Oh, Obed, you're breaking up again. Obed, hello?
Can you hear me?
Not really. It's not
Can you
clear. It's not clear.
But it's my audio. It's my audio.
Yeah, the audio is good now.
Okay,
It's good.
the audio.
It's good to
Okay,
go. We can
thank
hear
you.
you now.
Okay, right? You need good people around you. And like I said before, I'm not talking about your friends, right? I'm talking about when there's crisis, someone that you can pick up the phone to, and you can tell them something, and all they have to do is make a phone call, right? Literally, right? If you're looking to work with this organization, do you know someone that can at least speak on your behalf? Right? Because it's not going to be every single door that you can enter. Right? But you can be in every single room, but it's not every single door that you can enter. Like, please pay attention to this. It's not every single door you can enter, but you can be in every single room. That just simply means, right? In most cases, certain rooms, you're going to have to get into that room through the window. Please pay attention to this. In some cases, certain rooms, you won't be able to enter through the door like every single person. You're going to have to enter through the window. Right? Now, how the hell do you enter through the window if you don't have someone in the room to open the window for you to enter? Right? Your human currency. Your human currency. You want to get a contract from a business, you want to work with a school, you want to work with X, Y, and Z. If you go through the door, you're going to have to submit an application or a proposal. Guess what? If this organization or company or individual that you want to work with, if you've identified them to be a great asset or a great client, you best believe others have also made that identification. That means there is a competition. That means everybody is submitting a proposal. That's like basically you saying, okay, we do some work with Apple, right? We did not go onto Apple's website and clicked partnerships and completed your forms and X, Y, and Z, right? Why? Because we know Apple is one of the biggest tech companies in the world, not even in the UK, in the world, right? So at some point, if we're trying to go through working with them the conventional way, as in submitting applications, I don't even think our application will even get a chance to even be looked at because they get a high volume amount of companies proposing, right? How we worked with Apple came from us being burgled. And that's the simple truth. How we worked with Microsoft came from one of my friends that worked in Microsoft that I met at a business event. One of the ways that we worked with HP was I saw their partnership, I believe partnership manager or something on LinkedIn. I connected, sent a message and said, we're Shapeways, this is what we do. It would be lovely to see if there's any opportunities that we can actually work with you on. We train X amount of people. They have skills. Would you be interested in taking them on, right? If I went to the HP website and clicked on partnership, I am competing with a lot of people, right? Certain rooms, certain people that you want to speak to, if you go through the conventional way, you're going to think that you will never get a chance to speak to them. This is what I'm saying, your human currency. And your human currency, where you get that from, is attending events, being social on social media, specifically LinkedIn. If you haven't sorted out your LinkedIn profile, please sort it out. Okay, fill out the different questions that they ask you so your profile can populate properly. Start to connect with people in industries that you're interested or companies that you want to work with. Start to connect with their staff members. Start to message when the staff members accept your approval, message them. Hey, my name is Obed. I saw that you worked in this field. This is what I do. I'm currently looking for a mentor to guide me based on your experience and your qualifications. I genuinely feel like you can add so much more value to what I'm providing. It will be good to just take 5 minutes of your time to pick your brains on X, Y, and Z. I promise you it won't take more than 5 minutes. And guess what? When you start to massage people's ego, especially when you're looking for mentors, they give you more than 5 minutes because they happen to be a group. They become friends, basically, right? But you have to get in the game. Attend events. If you're someone that attending events feels very, very... I'm going to read your question. If you attend events and you find it difficult to connect with people or you find it difficult to start socializing, right? All you have to do when you get into the event space, scope around, right? See what's going on. Just take a minute, sit by yourself and just look around, right? Get a feel for what's going on, right? Approach someone and just say, hey, my name is X, Y, and Z, right? I'm in here. I want to soak up as much skills as possible. It would be really good to hear what you're doing and why you're here, right? You don't even have to pitch what you're trying to do or what you're trying to gain. And look at it from the perspective of, okay, these are the skills that I have. If you ever need someone to help you, maybe to do a voiceover, do like a post for you, whatever, like I'm more than happy to do it, right? And you don't have to pay me, like you don't have to pay me. I'm just here to support anyone that may need help because I know how difficult it is doing something when you don't have money, right? The quickest way to build meaningful relationship comes from being a support system to someone, okay? The quickest way, right? Because when it's your turn and when you ask them, hey, can you help me with this? The person is going to feel more, they're going to feel more forced to help you because you came into their life as a support system, right? As a support system, going into business events. I have a question here. All right. What if the person in the room doesn't have the contacts with the ones we need? I mean, if we want more than the business launchpad human currency, just a query. Sorry if it's wrong to ask. No, it's perfect. This is a very good question, right? One, there's two answers to this because I've been in this predicament, right? If you see someone that clearly doesn't have the contact you need, right? Don't disregard that person, right? Because tomorrow you may need something that maybe that person has, but you may have not identified you need that at that time you saw that person. So still open a dialogue, have a conversation with them, okay? Have a conversation with them. Now, the good thing with LinkedIn is LinkedIn lets you know the people that you have connected with, who they are also connected with, right? So you know that this person went to the same school as the person that I want to follow, right? Sometimes messaging the person that you really want, they may be too popular or maybe they may be too, I don't know, like in a place where it's difficult for you to, it's difficult for you to, for them to respond to you, right? You find somebody that follows them that isn't as popular and you massage their ego, right? And through that, based on how you communicate and how you speak to them and how the friendship develops, right? You will be introduced based on what you do with the attention that you're given from that person. Right? So this is why I was saying that it's not every single door you can enter, but you can be in every single room. Right? And always look left when everybody's looking right. The reason why I'm saying that is, you know, majority of jobs are given not through going through the job board, as in going on Reed and X, Y, and Z. More jobs are given internally based on people you know, right? More jobs are given literally internally based on people you know, right? So think of that when you're in business, that look, there is a door that everybody goes through, fine, great, but I can bet you a lot of people that have insights within that company are going through the window. Some companies will post a job online knowing that that job has been filled. That position has been filled, but they still post it online. Why? It's because they need to look like they're being fair. Right? So whilst you're applying for something, that job has already gone, but they're just going through the process, protocol. Right? I've seen it so many times. Right? So this is what I'm saying. Your human currency, when you start receiving support with your one-to-one business coach, the keyword, let that business advisor or coach help you to develop a framework that helps you to improve your human currency. Right? Your human currency. I'm working with one of my clients, right? And the client currently won 5K from Business Launchpad to start his business, right? And with that 5K, obviously we need to make sure that it's being spent on the right things, to make sure that it's being spent wisely. But the most important thing that we've done isn't even necessarily using that money, right? It's about working on his human currency, because if he works on it right, and right now he's doing a few things with TikTok and X, Y, and Z, right? If he does it right, the things that he may need to pay for, he's going to get for free. So the money can go elsewhere, right? Your human currency, right? Right now, I have, well, every device I use is an Apple product, right? Not because I bought them. These are quite expensive, right? In Ghana right now, the office that I got, one of the rooms is literally Macs, right? It's not because I have a lot of money and I went and bought a lot of MacBooks and all that stuff, right? It's because they were given based on human currency, not because everybody at Apple knows me. I'm nobody to them, but I know one person that values the work that I do and believes in me. So always remembers me when they're doing anything such as giveaways or schemes going on. I'm always able to get it. And it's just an email away, right? So I'm telling you these things because I'm a living proof of it. I'm not standing from a privileged place telling you this, right? But it's possible. When you build your human currency, it is possible. And you don't have to pay money to build that human currency. You don't have to pay, especially those of you that have good communication skills. Those of you that have been able to unmute and speak, like, use that. Use it. Go to networking events. When you finish work, instead of coming straight home, just pass through an event. If you need an event or a website, Eventbrite, you can go and search based on your location, what events are going on. Look for business events, but specifically look for events that you can find people that are in a higher position than you, right? Please don't go and network with people that are on the same level as you, but you want them to give you something that they don't have, right? It's not realistic. Okay, go to events that the person speaking at that event is actually really good to speak to. Go to events, the person that organized that event is really good to speak to, because that person that organized the event has close contact with the person that spoke at the event that maybe you may want, but you may not get that reception. But if you speak to the event organizer and just say, you know what, I finish work at 5, I can dedicate like once a month to come in and help with the admin with your events, right? I can do the registration, I can do whatever, right? For free. You don't have to give me anything, right? But this is what I'm doing. And I'm hoping that through your connection, I can also build my human currency. I can build my network of people. Like, I'm telling you, these things work because I had to do it. Okay, I'm not going to go into, in the world of business, you need to know your 5 P's of marketing and blah, blah, blah. Like, look, business is not difficult. It's only difficult when you don't have people behind you. It's very, very difficult, right? It feels like you have to be a genius, but you don't, right? You just have to invest in people. Okay, all right. I spoke about supporting others, right? When you go to networking events, the key thing that you have to make sure you go into it with is, I'm going to be a support system to someone, right? I challenge you to have that thought when you're going into networking events. Don't even look at it from, what can I get from this person? Just go in it and be like, you know what, this person is really cool. How can I support this person? Right? How can I be of help to this person? Right? And it makes your life so much so much easier when you go into spaces with that perspective, because you don't have to talk much. You don't have to talk much. Right? And over time, you're going to see how much your friendship circle will change. Your mind state will change. When you're going through things, you're speaking to people that can actually offer value, not people that want to be nosy. And a lot of us, we know within our friendship group, people will ask you what is wrong, not because they have an answer, they just want to be nosy. Right? At the end of the conversation, you realize that a lot more has taken out of you than actually put in you. You feel deflated. After certain conversations, you're like, wow, like, I feel like something has been taken out of me from this conversation, right? You come out of conversations, you're exhausted, mentally exhausted, right? Mentally exhausted. You need to start questioning. If you're in a group and you feel like when you talk about business, the interest within friendship groups and people that are really close to you, they're not really engaging. It's not your cue card to change your friend or to say your friend is bad. No, your friend is in your life for a specific reason, right? Don't try to put that expectation on your friends that because I want to do business, now you all have to be interested in business. You all have to support me. No, you can create a group of people that can support you in that realm in your life, in that segment in your life, right? It's not about losing friends and things of that nature, because at some point, that friend served some kind of purpose in your life, right? So whatever you connect with that friend on is what you connect with that friend on. But having the expectation to connect on all your interests is borderline unfair, because they are also their own human beings and their own kind of ambitions and things of that nature. And if it doesn't align with you, that's fine. You align on something. Find someone that aligns in the realm of business that you can call on, that knows more than you, has more experience than you, that can speak life into you, but most importantly, that you respect. Right? Most importantly, that you respect. that when you look at this person, I respect you, right? Not out of fear or this person is so great or whatever, but you genuinely respect based on how responsible or how their decisions, right? Their results is a respectable. It demands a certain level of respect, and you know it. Nobody needs to tell you. You would know it, right? You would know it, and you have to connect with these people. And that's the examples I gave, right? If this person you respect, a lot more people respect that person as well. That means that if you're going through the door to get that person's attention, it's going to be very difficult. So again, problem solve. Okay? Problem solve. Problem solve. Like, honestly, problem solve. Customer segment. And I'm not going to take long on this, right? Because you're going to deal with this with your business coach. Okay? You're going to deal with this with your business coach. Customer segmentation. The amount of time when I asked, who is your customer? And you say women. Who is your customer? Men. Who is your customer? Everybody, right? The quickest way to be confused when you're marketing a product is to have a very broad customer base, right? Customer base. It doesn't allow you to be specific. It doesn't allow you to personalize your message. It doesn't allow you to speak to a group of people. It just allows you to shout. Okay? If I go outside to a public space like Oxford Street and I shout, I love you, right? I promise you, nobody's going to take any notice of that. But if I stop one person and I say, I love you, I can promise you I'll get a better reception from that one person compared to me shouting it to everybody. Right? So this is where we have to make sure that we're personalizing. If you sell wig, let me give you an example. If you sell wig, yes, every woman can buy your wig, right? Or any man that wants to wear your wig can buy it. Yes, it's possible, right? Everyone can buy it. But when it comes to marketing, when it comes to understanding who you're selling to, you have to have a specific group. So then it goes from every woman to, okay, every woman between the age of 21 to 40 that works a 9 to 5, right? Probably in finance, probably in this, probably on this salary. Because of the pricing that I give, you need to be in the salary bracket to be able to afford this level of luxury item, right? So when you're communicating like this to an investor, when you're communicating something like this to your marketing person, or when you're marketing it, you know the type of language you need to use. You know the time that you need to post. You know all these things because you know the people that work, this is the time that they typically finish. This is the time that they will be on the bus. This is the time that they will be listening to, they'll be on social media. You have a very good understanding. So when you're marketing it, you've positioned it in a way for it to work, right? But then when our customer base or the segmentation of it is, okay, it's women, okay. So now when you're posting, you don't know the time to post because you're thinking, okay, well, not every woman works, right? Some are at home, some are this, some are here. So then you realize that you end up creating a marketing campaign, right? That is just shouting, hey, we sell wigs, right? And it doesn't resonate with nobody because it doesn't speak to anybody's personal life, right? But if you say, hey, we sell wigs for the working woman, for the woman that doesn't have time to go and braid their hair every single time, right? For the woman that needs to look a certain way within the office space, for the woman that wants to make sure that they have this look when they're in their meetings, for a woman that wants to make sure that they're looking slick, for a woman that doesn't have the, right? You know the messaging. So when that woman that you're looking for sees that, guess what? They're going to pay attention and read because you're speaking to them. You're speaking to their reality, right? And this is where good marketing comes from. It comes from being able to profile who it is that you want. If you want to work with organizations, what type of organizations? How many people within that organization will typically, do this? How many times does the organization do partnership work? Right? What is the general turnover? Because if you know this organization is making X amount of profit, then at least you have an idea of how much you should charge. Right? You have an idea of how much we should charge. All comes from being able to clearly understand who you're trying to serve. It all comes from that. Okay? It all comes from that. Being able to identify who you want to sell to. Again, you're going to go through this with your business coach. And if you join any of the programs, you're going to go through this as well. Okay? But it's to help you to get to that point. I will never tell you to go and sell something when we haven't identified who it is that you're selling to. Who? Like, we need to give that person a name, give that person an age, an occupation. Is the person a reformed gang member? Is the person a reformed pastor? Is the person a reformed teacher? We need to know, because we're selling to a very, very specific people. So when we're marketing, when we're creating your posters, there's certain keywords that we're using, right? That is aligning, it's hitting, it's like jabs. It's just hitting customers. When they see it, it's like, oh my God, this person is speaking about me. They understand my issue. They understand my reality. Guess what? I want to buy from them because they understand what you're doing. I want to invest in you because you understand who's going to buy from you. You're not just sitting there plucking numbers in from thin air, telling me that we're going to charge £30. And when I ask you why £30, if your reason is, well, it cost us this much to make it, and that's why we're charging £30, then I'm going to ask you, so how do you know your customers would be able to buy from, be able to afford it? Right? Because if I ask you that question, I'm literally asking you, what is your customer segmentation? Who are they? Where do they come from? Right? Businesses that are doing well, they understand this, and they understand it to the T. Right? Because when I'm selling Shapeways, I don't sell it to everybody. There's places that I don't go. Based on the cost that I've put on our service, there's places that I don't even waste my time going. Okay? But you can only make that decision when you understand who you're selling to. Okay? Who you're selling to. So again, it goes back to what I've just mentioned, tailored marketing, right? Product and service customization, right? Efficient resource allocation, improved customer retention. Now, customer retention. We have to get into the business of building businesses that keeps people coming back. If you always have to pay in order to get someone to buy from you, it is going to be a very hard money burning business, right? We want people to come back. If I'm a barber, I'm not trying to get new customers. I'm trying to make sure the people that come through the door, when they're ready to get their haircut again, they're walking right through my door. Right? Because we only have a business when we have returning customers, because returning customers gives us a sustainable income. Right? If you've been running your business and you've been doing it for 2, 3 years, 4 years, but you're still working in order to make ends meet, you don't have to look at, okay, why am I not able to at least even make half of what I'm making from my full-time or part-time job? Why? What is the issue? Is it how much I'm charging? Who am I selling to? How much do I need to charge? How many people do I need to get? Right? All these things matter. And when people buy it, what am I doing to keep these people coming? Customer service. Is there a need for me to go? What need am I giving people to come back to me? Apart from just giving them the product. What am I doing? Do I have a community? Do I have people that are also invested in the business? As in, when I'm about to launch a new product, I can get a few of the trusted customers to actually have a say in that product. Am I growing a community? Am I uplifting any community? Am I doing more than just selling? Right? Because the goal, if you work a 9 to 5, the goal when you start a business is first at least try to make half of what you make from your 9 to 5. And you need to be fixated on that goal. That goal needs to drive a lot of things within the business, right? Because in order for us to be sustainable as a business, we need your full-time attention, right? We need your full-time attention. And in order for you to believe, for you yourself to believe that what you're doing is actually moving towards a good direction, you need to be able to tell as well, based on the money that's coming in. If you can tell yourself that, you know what, I'm actually making half of what I make. Okay, maybe I can go part-time now because I make half of what I make. So I can get the other half for my business. This is a very, very good identification that what you're doing is great. If you can achieve that milestone. Because the only logical thing next is, okay, how can I make the other half so I can leave my job? Right? But if you have responsibilities, if you have bills to pay, if you have children, if you have people that you have to look after financially, I would never tell you to quit your job and start a business. I will never tell you that. If I'm going to tell you that, that means that I'm giving you at least 6 months worth of money to invest in your business so you can still do the things that you need to do. Right? But I would create a plan with you to exit yourself out of your 9 to 5 to fully focus on this. Right? It's not about quitting. Please do not get consumed by the stories you hear on social media that I quit my job and I started, and this only happens to the 1% of people. I will never tell you to gamble with your life based on 1% of people. Right? Some people say I dropped out of university, created my business, and now I'm a millionaire. Okay, that's great. But how many people drop out of business and actually become successful in the millions? Not a lot. So if someone is telling you, yeah, you should follow your thing, so drop out, it's not good advice. Okay? It's not good advice. Education is not bad. It's not. Having a degree is not bad. Not having a degree is not bad. Okay? But make decisions based on some kind of numbers. Right? Don't live your life based on throwing a lot of things on the wall and hoping one stick. Right? Be specific. Be intentional. Right? Have a plan. Stick to that plan. Have people that hold you accountable to that plan. Have people that can speak life into you when you feel that you can't do anymore. Right? Because we all need somebody at some point. Okay? We all need somebody at some point. I want to fly through this, okay? I want to fly through this, but write this down as the key areas you want to focus on when you're building your customer segmentation, when you're identifying your target audience, right? These are the things that you need to be able to answer. And again, you're going to do all this with your business coach, right? You're going to do all this with your business coach. So I'm not going to tell you, let's do this and you figure it out X, Y, and Z. I just want you to have an understanding of it. And that's why I've spoken about thinking through it, okay? Even if you sell water, water is taken by everyone. We all drink water. But your water business, if you tell me my customer or my customer profile is all humans and animals, right? I will tell you if right? Because even Waitrose, Sainsbury's, Marks and Spencer, all these people, right? Lidl, they all sell the same products, right? Take away the branding and things of that nature, they all sell the same products, but they all have different types of people that they serve. Believe that. They all have different types of people that they serve, right? It's because it gives you clarity. It gives you clarity when you're marketing, when you're producing a product, when you're pricing the product, right? Waitrose, if you walk into Waitrose and you just stand there and you just scan, right? All you see is middle-class people and upper-class people, right? If you pay close attention, Waitrose, you see all types of people that works in finance, accounting, probably in real estate, people that are in high positions, CEOs, right? And this is something that I'm going to tell you, and this is like a trick, a secret that I use. Sometimes I would go into Camden or go into like Chelsea, find Waitrose, right? And be in there and act like I'm shopping, just to speak to the people that are shopping. Because I know these people are high net worth. And if they're high net worth, chances are they are probably directors or managers within companies, right? And I'll just ask them, hey, I'm trying to find this product. I've seen this product, but I don't know if it's actually good for what I need it for, right? At work, we're running a retreat. We support X young people, right? And I want to make sure that I'm getting the right ingredients, blah, 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 right? You'd be so surprised the type of people you're going to meet, right? That is going to offer you a lot of information and end up talking about what they do. And before you know it, you've got a contact number. Before you know it, a company wants to now sponsor you, right? What I'm saying is target market. Take advantage when you're in the world of business. Understand every business also have their target market. If you know this business caters to the people that you want to invest in you, why are you not going to walk around? Right? Why are you not? It's free. Right? Because you're not going to find CEOs that are running like multi-million businesses at events that are free. That's one thing you're not going to do. You're not going to find CEOs, directors, managers that run multi-million businesses at events that are free, as in free for you to attend. You don't have to pay anything, right? They're not going to be there. I can promise you. And this is why, for me, where I am now, if I attend a free event, I'm mostly going to be the person that's helping everybody, right? But that's just based on where I am. And as you grow and as you start to create more value for yourself and for your business, where you go to hang out will naturally change because you're now looking for the person ahead of you to help you get to the new level, right? So you often see that a lot of the things that you may go to are quite expensive or are quite like, it's just with growth comes new territory, right? When I started, I would go to free events and find speakers that have been invited to speak at free events because chances are the person that has been invited to speak at free event did not get paid because what? The event is free, right? So that person that is speaking at the free event is also speaking. Maybe they need to build their network or maybe they need to sell their product or something, right? But when you start going to paid events, best believe the person that's speaking is paid. And best believe that person that is speaking is high value. Right? So again, it's just looking at things. Whilst you're doing it for yourself, when you get into the business of things, the way you see things will naturally start to change. And when it comes to problem solving, every single thing could be a solution. Every single thing can be a solution. I heard someone say they're new in the UK, trying to understand the ecosystem. So they came to this event and to get a business coach, to get insight, right? That is a very, very, very good problem-solving technique, right? Again, she is utilizing network, people, right? Why would you waste your time going to read books to understand how UK people think when you can find someone that works and operates within that landscape and answer the specific questions that you may have, right? You solve the problem quickly, right? And this is what I'm saying, the human currency, understanding who you want to buy from you, because it will advise who you need to speak to, right? The other day, I went to an event, right? I went to an event in Ghana, and one of the entrepreneurs was talking about, okay, we need help. We're about to launch our fintech company. We need help, X, Y, and Z. And I simply asked, okay, what do you need help in? And she paused. She was like, you know what, can we get back to you, but can I take your number? Right? But you can't afford to not know what type of help you need. Because in order for you to know the type of help you need to have thought about the business and what it needs. So the fact that she's about to launch a business and she doesn't know the type of help she needs, what does that mean for me? It means you need to run. It's either that person is going to waste your time or waste your money. Right? So it's important, the customer segmentation, profiling. So when you're speaking to someone and they're ready to help you, you're not looking stupid, because it's like, okay, I don't know the type of help I need, but I feel like I need help. Okay? Very, very important that you know this. Yeah? Please write this down. Write this down and understand it. Look, if you don't understand this bit and why it means, log into ChatGPT and say, why do I need to do this for my business? Right? Tell me in layman's terms, as in speak very, very basic English. Don't use any fancy words that I may have to Google. Use basic English so I can understand, right? So you can understand, because there's no point me going through all these different things when we have AI now, right? You can get that information as quick as possible, okay? But this is so, so important. So, so important. Dealing with rejection, right? I know, I mean, some people have never been rejected, so they say, right? But I remember my first rejection was in secondary school when I asked a girl out and she said no, right? I felt it and I still remember it, okay? Rejection is literally part of life. If you're starting business and you're going to exit the business because people are saying no, then I will tell you, maybe you don't need to start the business now. You need to work on your mindset, right? Because I wouldn't want you to waste your money, your resources, your time, right? Because of rejection. If rejection is going to be a KO blow to you, then I would say maybe right now, business is not what we need to focus on. Okay? But rejection is literally like air. Whether you like it or not, you're going to breathe it in. Okay? But dealing with rejection is important, because some people deal with rejection as I'm going to quit. Some people deal with rejection as I'm not good enough. Some people deal with rejection is because maybe I come from a council estate. Some people deal with rejection because I've never actually, I didn't pass my GCSEs. I dropped out of university. I didn't finish college. I have never done well in any exam. I have never communicated effectively, right? Some people deal with rejection to the point where they literally think it's a personal thing. Okay? But rejection is a form of people's opinions on you. Now, it doesn't mean, please, it doesn't mean because it's an opinion, it cannot be true. Some are true. But whenever you're rejected, just go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, what if this person is right? Just ask that question. What if this person is right? Okay, you know what? I could have said this better. I could have done this better. I could have presented it this way. I could have been a bit more presentable. I could have actually not used a lot of and things of that nature, right? Use it as an opportunity to be better. That's all it is. An opportunity to be better. It's not an indication of whether you're good enough or not to do this thing. It's just in this, look, if you play sports or if you watch sports or if you watch any type of competitive thing, the player that is probably the best player all the time, it's not every single game that that player performs, right? Sometimes you have bad days. Sometimes you have good days. Okay, that's all rejection is, right? But we're too focused. We're too focused to be thinking that this person rejecting us means that we need to throw in the towel, right? The rejection is just for us to pick up more towels, not to throw in towels, like literally, right? We have to. And this is where your circle, your human currency comes in, because when that rejection hits you, the simple fact is it hurts. It doesn't feel nice. When you are rejected, it does not feel nice, especially when you've put a lot of attention to something and it doesn't go the way you want and people don't see what you saw. It hurts. And you need someone to pick you back up. It's not all the time you're going to be able to pick up yourself, especially when you get to a certain level. The rejection hurts a little bit more because it takes away a lot of money, a lot of money, right? But it's not for us to give up. Okay, it's not for us to give up. And again, your business coach is going to go through this with you, because what we've noticed, a lot of people give up, a lot of people lose confidence, a lot of people drop their vision, right, based on rejection. Right? Maybe you're used to friends and family giving feedback. So because they're friends and family, they're a bit more controlled with how they reject, right? But when you meet a stranger and all they care about is your product or service, and when they say no, they're saying no and it's blunt, right? And that's fine. They don't owe you anything. That's fine. But we need to understand that they said no to the business, not you, the business. The business. Remember, I mentioned the business is his own person called Jasmine. Right? They said no to the business, not you. Okay? Rejection. Your business coach is going to go through this with you so much more, right? Your value propositions. Value proposition. Before you start any business, the moment someone tells me about their business, I simply ask them, okay, what are you offering people? And are you solving people's problems, or you're creating a problem? Right? Or you're creating a problem. It's very, very important that you understand this, because some people, their business ideas, when you actually filter it and you go through it and you realize that, hold on, wait, are you making people's life a bit more difficult through your idea? And it's fine, because sometimes we get lost in our idea. And because we think it serves us, we think it's going to serve the mass. But we build businesses, right, to serve people. not us, right? Unless if you're going to be your own customer, then definitely build a business for you. Okay? Definitely build a business for you, but you're not building it for yourself. This section, your business coach is going to go through this with you, right? The value proposition and just being able to identify the types of value proposition you're providing. So solving a problem, which is fantastic, right? Enhancing efficiency. When we think about the likes of, Amazon, right? Connecting people that want to sell to people that want to buy. Boom, efficient. Right? Efficient. Okay, so it's just identifying that and understanding that. Okay, these are some of the examples. These are some of the examples. But the main thing I want you to take from this, right? And this is why I'm running through this, because these things you can do with your business coach, right? And put it into exercise formats that you can actually roll it out whilst you're starting your business. Okay, roll it out whilst you're starting your business. 1 second. Okay. 1 second. I want to move to a section. Okay. I want to move to this section, right? Because this section, I want us to be able to grasp the whole concept of this, right? Because I want to deliver this workshop from the perspective of, even if you don't sign up, even if you don't, whatever you want to do, right? I just want you to understand the principles, right? The principles. Doing more with less, maximizing resources. You have resources. Even if you think you don't have resources, you have resources. You have something. Okay? You have something to showcase. You have something that someone is praying for. However much low or high you think of yourself, you have something. To be able to do more with less, you need to be intentional. You need to be intentional. When you hear people say, you know what, whatever happens, happens. What's for me is for me. What's supposed to be mine will always be mine. When you hear these type of statements, and it's a feel-good statement, right? It's a feel-good statement because when you say those things, it makes you feel like, okay, yes, it's great, right? But I want you to be intentional in business. Please be intentional. That means strategically planning your actions and focusing on you actually kind of achieving those actions in actionable steps. Achieving the actions in actionable steps, not thoughtful steps, right? In actually ticking it off that I have completed this, not I have the intentions of completing this. No, I have completed it. Be intentional and focus on completing your intentions. Right? Create meaningful relationships. Create meaningful relationships. That just simply means, you know what? At least one person from this group, right? At least one person, at least one person from this group, in a year, 2 years' time, you're going to wish that you spoke to the person and introduced yourself. You're going to wish. Because what I've seen so many times is when we run programs, certain people, business actually starts to take off after the program. And they start getting into places and they start reaching out to people and working with strong brands. And someone from the program will try to get in touch and they will contact us and say, hey, do you have this person's contact details? By that time, when you message the person, they're not responding. Why? Because sometimes when people are actually doing well in life, they often not really look back until they have actually achieved what they really want to achieve. Right? In essence, what I'm saying is, it's hard to reach out to a person that has advanced a lot in life. It's hard to get that attention of that person. It's just life. Right? We all can see celebrities on social media. I promise you, if you send a direct message to them and they don't see that tick in your profile, there's a very, very low chance that they're going to reply. It's just life. But it would have been a lot easier when the person wasn't popular or the person didn't advance as high as he or she has. So then for us, we have to be able to advance. We have to be able to see more than our sight can. We have to be able to take advantage of meeting new people because we don't know what tomorrow has to offer. Right? You don't know the person that you're in this room with. Tomorrow, their business is going to take off and they may need someone like you to do something for them, but you never met. So the person ended up going with someone else. Right? Take advantage. Take advantage. I'm telling you, take advantage. Okay? Take advantage. Don't be shy to put your X, Y, and Z in the chat for people to follow and saying hello. Don't be shy. Okay? Now, there's a task that I want you all to do. Okay? There's a task that I want you all to do. I need you all to scan this QR code. Right? Scan this QR code and go to the registration. Right? And register to get business support. Right? You will be allocated to me, Natalie, or Luke. Right? So we can sit down and map out what you are planning to do, some of the things that are stopping you from achieving that goal, right? You can get a support system that can help you to get over the things that are maybe becoming difficult for you to do. Okay? It says, okay, so there's a link that has been put in the chat right now. There's a link that has been put in the chat right now. If you look in the chat, there's a link. Please go through that link and put in your details whilst I'm speaking, right? Put in your details so that Monday they can reach out to you, right? Put in your detail, right? Do not schedule, do not procrastinate, do not put it on a shelf and say you're going to do it later. Try to consciously get things done without having to schedule. Get it done, move it out of the way so you can move on to the next thing. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about forgetting. You don't have to worry about X, Y, and Z. And sit down with someone that can help you start whatever you're trying to do. Okay? Sit down with someone that can help you, have that foresight, that can guide you. Right? And with some of the programs, there's funding. The accelerator, there's funding, right? There's funding that you pitch to get 5,000 grant to start your business. right? The business incubator, there's training where you would get your website built within the program, okay? There are things that you can get from the programs, but your one-to-one support with your business coach is going to be so important because it's the person that you call on, right? It's the person that you call on when something happens. It's the person that you call on when you need something fast. Is there someone to help you formulating things, right? Because sometimes it's difficult. It is difficult, especially when you've never started a business before. It's difficult. When you're done with the sign up, please put done, okay, just so that I know. But it is difficult to get the support when you don't have anyone apart from yourselves and maybe friends that can pitch in here and there, right? Get that dedicated support, okay? Sometimes I remember there's times that someone has picked a business name, registered a business name, but the domain is taken, right? But if you had that support, you would have been able to make sure that you don't waste money registering a name that isn't available as a domain, right? And now you have to freestyle. It's so, so important that you get the support you need, right? It's not about doing it by yourself, right? Create the circle of people. Now, if you have LinkedIn, put it in there, put it in the chat so that people can check you out, follow you, message each other, right? Message each other. Please put done when you have done completing the form. Put done when you are done completing the form, okay? This is so much, so important. Don't just come in and leave and go back to depending on yourself. You don't have to depend on yourself, right? Fantastic, Sebastian, Anna, fantastic, okay? You don't have to depend on yourself. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to try and complete everything that I've mentioned by yourself. You don't have to. So if you're leaving, it's a decision that you've made. Without registering, it's a decision that you've made. It's not because there isn't any support system out there, right? It's important. It's important, right? And it would be so amazing if one day I could go into partnership with one of you. Think about the story. It would be literally crazy, right? From attending, getting support with your business, now you're in partnership with BLP or Shapeless, right? And that's my story because I came in as someone that needed help, right? I came in as someone that needed help. Don't think it's far-fetched if you're also doing it, okay? When you're done, please put done in a chat just so that I know, right? I want to make sure that I acknowledge you and we know that this person we need to get in touch with. Very, very important. The feedback is also in the chat. When you're done, please complete the feedback. The feedback is just simply the session feedback, okay? How has this session been for you? Okay, how has this session been for you? Right? How has this session been for you? Okay, when you're done with the registration, just complete the feedback. It's very, very quick, right? It literally takes less than a minute to complete, okay? How has it been for you? How has it been for you? When you're done with the registration, please let me know in the chat. Please let me know in the chat when you're done with the registration. When you're done with the registration, please let me know in the chat, right? Please let me know in the chat when you're done with the registration. When you're done with the registration, okay? All right, I'm going to give the floor to Arif, but before I give the floor to Arif, thank you so much, so much for listening, for taking part, and most importantly, you don't have to be here. So the fact that you're here, I genuinely appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, right? And I wish you all the best. I hope to see you all, right? I hope to see you all, whether it's on a program or on a one-to-one session or whatever it is, I hope to see you, okay? Arif, when you're ready, you can take the floor.